Lord has instructed murder. On one note, I'm thinking like, that don't sound.
There's a difference between murder.
I want to call it murder. Okay, when the Lord instructed.
There's murder. There's murder, which is unjustified killing, right? Like if I was jealous of you, and I killed you out of jealousy, that's murder. You see. But when the Lord decrees that somebody is put to death, that's a justified thing. When you commit adultery, you take another man's wife, all right? In the eyes of the law, that's a justified kill. Now, we all fall short. You know, we all have fallen short to the law. That's why we repent. But there's going to come a time when the doors of mercy close and these judgments are going to be sent forth. So if you commit an adultery, if you oppressing the Lord's people, if you hate your brother in your heart, it's going to be justified that the Lord kills you.
Y'all know about King Leopold the third? Well, like they talk about the Holocaust as far as
I know you
you got
they had a couple
one of them kings. They killed millions. You know, the biggest Holocaust was the Black Holocaust of black. The real Jews, per se. Like it was a big Holocaust where a lot of black people, Africans, was killed in this situation. But you know, on one note, we feel bad if the Bible say, you know, instruct for God to handle some business like that, like go and do this to somebody who harm my people. But so one note, we feel, you know, like, dang man, God ain't supposed to be what they would call murder. Like you just explained the justifiable, like we'll call murder. And then on the other note, let me finish this statement. What about if he would have? Because sometimes it was instructed for children to be taken out the equation in the Bible. You go into their village and do this to the leave nothing, leave nobody. Right. Like when you go in there. So if that person was killed before he even rose, because God can see the future, like you never know the next person to try to kill all black people, the next mass shooter might be able to be stopped in his tracks if those instructions was followed, but we wouldn't be able to proceed at like that judgment, like okay, let me stop this before it happened. But at the same time, man, I don't know what to ascribe to. I want to respect y'all because I do believe that y'all, you know, God's people out here, and I believe that I'm a man of God, of the Most High. And so, but yeah,
can you please grab that for him? Because I don't want to cut you off.
I can't just say that I'm just going to automatically ascribe to something, but I'm open and I'm going to study behind it.
Gotcha. Well, let's grab to show them why deaths happen. Because a lot of times in the Christian church they say, oh well, bad things just happen because of bad things.
I ain't even no Christian. I'm just a man that reads.
How you doing, sir? Grab the Lord kills and makes alive, man.
That's what I was trying to find.
Yeah, that's Ecclesiastes. I think chapter 5.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 32.
Oh, okay.
And verse 39. And it says, see now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So the Lord himself says, I'm the one who kills, and I'm the one who brings forth life. So,
but at the same time, the men that wrote this are the ones that said that God told them that it was inspired by God and given for instruction, wisdom, godly counsel. And but I didn't see God telling them that though. At the same time, they saying God told this was written by men that was under the inspiration of the Holy Spirit, the Spirit that led them, and they wrote that. And they telling me this, well, somebody else, they didn't even tell me that God told them to write it. Somebody else told me that somebody else told them that they was inspired by God and wrote this.
And this is how you know the difference. This is how you can tell the difference between what's given by God and what's not. Is that there's such things called prophecy, right? prophecy is telling you something is going to happen before it does. So these same men who got these messages from God are able to pinpoint exactly what's going to happen 2,000 years in the future before it ever happened with 100% accuracy.
Hieroglyphs is doing a lot too. Like the hieroglyphics, before the Egyptians, the black Egyptians, before some of these stories got written or even got combined, they was writing. A lot of them seemed similar to stuff that was written thousands of years before this was written. Okay. Before these texts. I just have to.
I got you.
Right.
I got a quick precept.
I don't understand why God would choose to tell these particular prophets, writers, and ministers. But why couldn't, or why wouldn't God come and tell each individual person personally like he did? If he the same today as he was yesterday and forever, he spoke to the first man personally.
7 and 6.
Hey, Adam, I'm gonna need you, Adam, to rock like this. This particular tree is not good for you. I've given you everything. This one, I'm telling you, that might not be a good option. He came to him specifically and gave him the rundown. Ever since that moment, then Adam didn't listen or whatever, he chose to go his own way. And then God say, well, now I'm just going to let each other man have to hear from another person instead of via my audible voice, like how me and you talking right now.
But that was our fault, because in the garden, we could see the Most High and we could hear the Most High. But once we sinned, he removed us from his presence, because you can't behold the Most High with mortal eyes.
I guess I'm saying if he the same as he was then, like how the words say he's stationary, one mind, that's what people, they added and put their own little flavor to it. But he said, I'm the same today, yesterday, and forever.
Right.
If that's the case, then I feel like we ain't me.
Well, the Most High didn't change. We was the ones that fell. Because like right now you talk about Adam in the tree. Do you think that's literal?
The only reason I'm saying that because he talked to them audibly.
Right.
He didn't need somebody to come to Adam. Hey, it's this being, the one who created everything. He had his own personal powwow with the Most High.
The Most High always had a mediator. Yeah. Anytime that you hear that the Lord came and spoke to somebody, it was always a mediator that was sent. Moses was a mediator.
Who the world was the mediator between him and Adam?
At that time, Adam, we was able to see the Most High. See, that's what I'm saying. You think that the story of the garden is literal. That's why you say, like, you thinking about this tree and Adam.
No, really, I don't. Because I know it's not a literal fruit. He said the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So,
this is where we at?
I just can't see that, man. God coming down and killing all the white folks, man, and the babies and all, instructing us. Saying that if God instruct you, you will go in there and kill an infant,
that's
bro.
what I'm saying.
You would slap that baby up against a brick wall,
have
bro.
Have patience, because that's why we got to do things in order, because it could be
no, because my questions was going to automatically. I already could perceive that by my first questions already gave me that info. He didn't do nothing wrong.
Listen.
It's just my first, before he even said that, I already knew what he'd do.
I'm trying to be patient with you, brother, because I want to give you the answer. Now, this is the thing. When the Lord flooded the earth, did he kill babies?
When he flooded the earth, did he kill babies? Not real human beings. The earth seed had been manipulated by them fallen beings that had came in. And
see, but that's the misunderstanding of who the sons of God are. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Certain things that you learn in Christianity, you have to let go, because we're trying to give you the true understanding. The sons of God weren't aliens or angels. It was talking about the prototype Israelites, because we came down and now we're stuck in this mortal flesh, right? That we're the sons of God that's talking about. And we ended up mixing our seed with other nations, and then they corrupted themselves because they started going about things their own way. So the Lord's like, I'm going to wipe them out. But that's going to happen again. When the Lord destroys this whole planet, because that's what it tells you, where the Lord is going to bring mass destruction. When a nuclear bomb hits, children are going to be burnt up, old elders are going to be burnt up, and people within our age are going to be burnt up.
So you saying that when Putin pushed that button, that's God?
That's what it says. It tells you.
So you saying Putin got it then?
No, he's the smith that
so
blows the coal.
Gonna be the, okay.
We'll read it.
Okay.
We'll read it.
My bad. I apologize, man, because I do.
I got a quick precept while you're getting that.
I got it right here. Isaiah 54 and 16.
I like this, man.
It says, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coal in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy." So the Lord created these men to be in these positions to make these weapons of mass destruction to destroy the earth. Because what he's going to do is he's going to bring in that second flood, but this time it's not going to be with water, it's going to be by fire. You got something over there?
Yeah, I got a quick precept. This is Isaiah 45 verse 7. I form the light, I create darkness, I make peace, and I create evil. I, the Lord Yahweh, do all these things. So the Lord do it all. I got another one to break down what you were saying. What it says that kill old and young, it's Amos, right?
That was Ezekiel.
Yeah, Ezekiel, man, it's like.
Yeah, Ezekiel chapter 9. Man, I'm gonna
Trust me, it resonates with me. It's in me because I ate the book, bro. So when you say it, it automatically, I'm like, yes, that's enough confirmation. Yeah. That verse is valid, bro. I remember that. I almost, when you start a verse, I almost can like.
Yeah, I got another one. This is Sirach 39 and verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. Read it one more time. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So the Lord creates certain spirits, certain rulers.
Occupy a body, or
yeah, so he creates certain rulers. He made Putin, he made Trump, he made death angels, and they lay on sore strokes to appease his wrath.
Right. He made Pharaoh.
Yeah, he made Pharaoh.
Pharaoh to get us to a different, to get us to a place.
He brung him up and he brung him
Man,
up.
I appreciate y'all. What's it called? The spirit behind it, man. Because I never had a chop up. Normally, when I see Hebrew Israelites, if somebody like it showed that y'all ready to study, y'all ready to come together. What the Bible called it? Let us. It's a verse.
It's a royal priesthood. That's what
let us come.
Let's reason together.
Let us reason together. Y'all reason. Y'all ain't just like, no. Like it's more of a grace behind it, and I'm really trying to convey this and help bring you up to par on it. Instead of like I see them getting mad, aggressive, they be cussing. I'm talking about Hebrew Israelite. Y'all represent and make it look a whole swag to it that's more attractive. Maybe that might work with other people. Like you might use different people a different way because certain people might need it. Might just be different type of witnessing. I don't know.
And it's because I really want you to. I really care and I want you to understand. Right. Like a lot of guys, they just want to show out for the camera, or they want to they get some type of authority they never had in the world, and they bring it into the truth, and they just want to use it. But like we really out here for you. You know, we out here for anybody that wants to talk. Like we'll help you, man. You know, but it all comes down to this first, is making sure we get an understanding. So
I got a quick precept and I'll let you go, bro. This is Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 5. And to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity.
Right. Can you grab Revelation 22? I want to end it on I want the brother to see that the Lord is just. He has a just balance. Though all the nations have to go into captivity, though our arch enemy is going to be destroyed, okay, the Lord is still just in everything that he does, and he's not just all going to, kill the world. Revelation 22 and 1, Bible Kashana.
This is Revelation chapter 22, verse 1. And he shewed me a pure river of water.
Right, he showed me a pure river of water.
A pure river of water of life, clear as crystal.
Just drop that out. Drop that, what you was holding. And this is talking about the kingdom of heaven. That pure river of life of water, clear as crystal, is the doctrine of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, who the world knows as Jesus Christ. His doctrine is going to go forth through the world. Go ahead.
Proceeding out of the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb,
Right.
in the midst of the streets of it, and on either side of the river was there the tree of life.
And when that water goes through is that river, on either side of that river is there's going to be the tree of life. Go ahead.
Which bear 12 manners of fruit.
Which bears 12 manner of fruits, because that's the 12 tribes of Israel. Continue.
And yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations.
And the leaves of the trees are for the healing of the nations.
Wow.
Because right now what's going on is with Esau and rulership, the world mourns. It says when the wicked.
Dr. Sabi cure AIDS and everything off that one verse. He said when he said that the herbs is for the healing of the nation. He used. I mean, in the physical herb. I know that's I'm just gonna listen. But yeah, he took that verse and healed everything.
Right. Well, the Lord did give us virtue. Through wisdom, He gave us virtue of roots and plants and certain things. But yes, this is on a spiritual level. This is parabolically speaking about the nation of Israel. When we're in rulership, the leaves of the trees will be for the healing of the nations. Go ahead.
Verse 3, and there shall be no more curse, but the throne of the Most High, or throne of God, and of the Lamb shall be in it.
All right, kind of. Now grab Isaiah chapter 2, Baba Bashar, and we'll end it there. Now, and it said, we're going to heal the nations through our knowledge. Because right now, for example, you got...
And it's talking about, it ain't talking about every nation though.
So the nations, it gets more specific because certain nations won't want to serve us. And those nations, the Lord said He's gonna curse those nations. You know, any nation that doesn't come up to keep the Feast of Tabernacle, He's going to send plagues on them, drought and all that. Because right now the earth, we don't keep this. There's a land Sabbath in the scripture, right?
Right.
There's a certain amount of time you can plow the land before all the nutrients is sucked up. So He could say every 7 years you keep a Sabbath so that way you can gain the nutrients. They don't do that. The world, the world doesn't do that. That's why they have to use GMO foods, because the fruit isn't producing what it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be a 7-year land Sabbath.
Right.
So that's the knowledge that we're going to teach them to heal the world, the pollution and stuff.
That's just one of the ones that people don't know about. The 7-year land Sabbath. It is all kind of Sabbaths.
Yeah, it's a lot of 7 years.
The 7th day, the 7 weeks, all the feast days, all
sometimes 7 can mean completion. So it could be a number of things. That's why you got to read the scriptures in context. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 2, start with 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord Yahweh house shall be established.
Right, kingdom of heaven.
In the top of the mountains.
And at the top of the mountains, meaning all the other governments of the world are mountains, but ours is going to be exalted above all. Go ahead.
And shall be exalted above the hills, and the nations shall flow into it.
And the nations shall flow into it. Because the kingdom of heaven will be the center of the earth at that time. Go ahead.
And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of God of Jacob, and He will teach us of His ways.
He shall teach us of His ways,
and we'll walk in His paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law.
Right. So out of Zion shall go forth the law. That's what we're going to teach them. Hey, no, you can't eat crab, shrimp, and lobster, because right now the Lord said that's an abomination. But why do you think that the oceans are so polluted? If you took some clams,
you need them to be out there eating all that junk.
If you took clams, crawfish, and catfish and threw them inside of a dirty tub and came back in a week, it'll be clear as crystal. So we have to teach them the laws and say, hey, y'all can't do that. That's why the Lord says He's going to give us a rod of iron to correct the nations when they do things that are contrary to the law. Go ahead.
And the word of the Lord Yahweh from Jerusalem.
And the word of the Lord Yahweh from Jerusalem. So we're going to teach them all these things. We're going to put the earth back in its order to where it's like Eden once again. So, yeah, certain things that might be a little bit bitter to your stomach right now, it's bitter, but it's going to be for a good cause at the end, because it's a necessary evil that the Lord has to bring upon the earth. Because otherwise people will walk around haughty. The nations will continue to go to war with each other, right? So the Lord got to punish the earth. And through that rod of correction, then they'll get back in line.
Smooth. Well, let me get to the family, man.
All right.
Appreciate y'all.
My name is Quan, man.
Quan.
I'm Solomon.
Shalomah. Brandon.
All right,
Brandon. All right, brother. Have a good one, brother.
I knew that Psalms 139 was going.
137?
Oh yeah, Psalms 137. So I was like, man. I mean, we had to read it, but you know, it was gonna be bitter to him for a second, man.
Yeah. That's hard, man. That's hard for all of us, man. You know, when you first come in.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to bring up that Deuteronomy 7:6, but you ready?
Yeah.
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
I'm gonna give all praise to our Father, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Kakadash.